Hello, hello. So this is the first time I've seen my face today. There are no mirrors here, which is interesting. I forget what I look like. I only see from inside my soul. Ow, ah! Hello. And I haven't left the house today. I've been doing bits and bobs here, and I kind of want to go for a walk, but it's getting late now, and I've had some time alone, and it's actually really nice to kind of have that space to just do my own thing. So I do my yoga, I play my ukulele a bit, and then I sort of, I don't know if I call it channeled, but I keep getting this message that I need to just start writing, and then whatever I write, I'm going to share. So, nothing is real. I've had one of those weird days today where my energies felt really strange, and I felt like stuff looks more than 3D. You look at a tree and it's kind of more than 3D, and I get that sometimes. Like, normally you look at a tree and you know it's 3D, but it feels like it's like more. I don't know how to describe it, but the colours are more vibrant than they normally are, and everything seems to kind of be alive in a different way. So nothing is real. Everything is an illusion, and our brains, our minds create our reality based on past perceptions. And I put a thing on a while ago about the hollow mask illusion, and it just goes to show that our brain creates a picture of what it thinks it's seeing based on what it's seen before, rather than what's actually there in front of it. So our eyes and our ears are continuously interpreting sensory information and creating a reality based on past experience. So nothing is real. Nothing. And then the second thing I got is that manifestation works, but you have to be very specific. And something that came up for me the other day is that when I was little, I wanted to be a camera person and an astronaut. They were my two dream jobs. And here I am being a camera person. And I'm not an astronaut, but I travelled to other dimensions through meditation. So perhaps my manifestations have actually come true, but just in a slightly different way than how I imagined at this age now. The dogs were super chilled, but they're having a zoomy moment. So I apologise for any noise. The other thing with manifestation is maybe you don't believe you're truly worthy of the things you want. And I know I never thought that I was going to be an astronaut. Maybe a camera person. So maybe you don't actually truly believe that you're worthy of doing that thing, and that's why it's not happening, because you have to actually believe that you're worthy of it in order for it to happen, and also take steps in the direction of making it happen. You can't just sit at home and hope that someone's going to knock on your door and ask you if you want to fly into space. You have to sort of make forward movements in the direction of whatever it is you want to manifest, I believe. And perhaps there's certain things that you have to do before you get to a place when you can handle your blessings. So if there's certain things you're asking for, maybe if they came into your life now, it would overwhelm you and you wouldn't actually be able to deal with it. So maybe you need time before you are ready to deal with the blessings that you're asking for. The next one that came through is about intuition and following your intuition. And I think sometimes it can be really hard, because if you're trying to follow your intuition about a person, for example, then quite often our subconscious reactions will pop up, and we'll create stories in our minds about people and who they are and what they think about us and all sorts of things. And rather than our intuition, we're then listening to our subconscious pre-programmed behaviours. And I think to really tune into your intuition, you need to be able to do it from a place of calm and feeling grounded. So if you're able to meditate or do some breathing exercises just for a few minutes, and maybe even sit on some grass or connect to nature, and then tune into how you feel and listen to your heart and your soul. And if your mind starts going off on one about with all sorts of crazy stories, then maybe question it. Is this your intuition, or is it your subconscious programming? And then, on that same subject, if you don't know someone's story, you can't fill in the blanks. So your brain will try. I wrote it may try, but I think will is probably a more accurate word. So your brain will try, but you can't. So everything your mind is telling you about a person that you don't know is complete fabrication. It's just your imagination. And then what happens when you get these ideas is that you look for things to confirm that your imagination is correct, something called confirmation bias. So, you know, you haven't heard from somebody, you decide that they don't like you, and then you look for signs to confirm that and perhaps create a very one-sided picture of reality with big gaps in it, based on you searching for only for evidence to confirm the fact that they don't like you, and you miss out all the things that show that they do. Unless you ask someone, you don't know. And maybe they won't tell you, but if they won't tell you, then you just have to let it go. We can't always know everything. This one's a lot shorter than the other day. How often do you actually really know what you want? So people say they want time alone, but then they say that they're lonely. They want to be around people, but then feel overwhelmed. And I think this is, those are just two examples, but there's all sorts of things. Look at the sky. I know it's my phone, but it's just crazy, the sky. So watch what you wish for. You wish for being alone, and then you're alone, and then you don't want to be alone. You want to be in a big crowd and live with loads of people, but then you want time on your own and you can't get it. So it's, we don't always know what we want. So how can we expect other people to know? So this came up as well in the context, I guess, of friendships, relationships, whatever. We may expect people to tell us what they want and how they feel when we don't actually know how we feel and what we want. So, for example, you might want someone to tell you that they love you, but if they tell you too soon, it's a red flag and you run a mile. If they want personal space, you may feel that they're rejecting you, but then you crave time on your own. We say we don't want people to change, but then we expect them to. And maybe this is even subconsciously. And then I wrote this about me. I feel so different about life now. I'm finally happy to be on my own. What I'm most scared of is that I will change to be someone else. So I really don't want anyone to do that for me. I love my alone time, so how can I expect someone else to sacrifice theirs to fit in around me? I don't want to feel controlled, so I won't try to control anyone else. The subconscious reactions still come, but I notice them sooner and I sit with them. The circular chatter in my brain appears at times, but I see it for what it is. I try not to let the emotions... Hello, now the cat's here. I'm like a witch. I try to let the emotions rise. And I'm not ashamed of them. Anger, pain, tears. Hello. All part of life. But I'm not allowing them to linger for too long. I'm choosing to move forwards. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. And now the cat's bum, so that's a nice treat for everybody. Anyway, if you listen to any of that, thank you. As I think I've said before, for me, it's not about how many people listen, it's about me speaking my truth, which is harder for me than conquering a physical fear, like climbing a tree or heights or something. Me actually saying how I feel out loud without fear of being judged is huge. So that's why I'm doing this. So if you're here, thank you. And maybe you resonate with some of that, maybe you don't. Maybe it's just a load of waffle. But anyway, thank you. And sending you loads and loads of love. And me and Francis are going to go in.